Okay, I want you to listen to this. Somewhere in your 401k, there is a dollar that buys you absolutely nothing. Not a bad investment, not a hidden fee, a normal contribution on a normal Tuesday that will never fund a single day of your retirement. Now, I know exactly how crazy that sounds, but stick with me here. That dollar has an age attached to it. It arrives way earlier than almost anyone expects and long before you actually stop working.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating mathematical reality of retirement savings to find what we call the golden retirement band. I promise you a clear, mathematically proven finish line, so you'll know exactly when you can and absolutely should stop saving. Let's dive right in. Think about it. For 30 years, every piece of financial advice you've ever heard has basically been to just maximize your contributions. But there is a massive structural conflict of interest in the financial world. Your plan provider's revenue, it's a percentage of your balance, so they literally have zero incentive to tell you to stop. Your employer needs broad participation to pass compliance testing so the executives don't get their own contributions capped. And the financial media, well, they just need clicks, and a headline screaming, "You are behind," guarantees attention. The whole system is built to answer, how do I save more, not when is it enough? So, because of that environment, we constantly get fed these terrifying generic rules of thumb. You know the ones. Save 80% of your pre-retirement income, have 25 times your expenses, save 10 times your salary. But those rules are built for spreadsheets, not real human lives. Your actual target relies on highly manageable, real inputs, your actual spending minus work-related costs, your Social Security timing, and realistic longevity estimates. Let's ground all this abstract math into real life. Meet our test household. We've got a married couple, both 40 years old, bringing in $180,000 a year. They currently have $300,000 sitting in their 401k, and they want $95,000 a year in retirement. They're also scheduled to get $60,000 a year from Social Security starting at age 67. Now, at a quick glance, $95,000 minus $60,000 leaves a gap of just $35,000. That feels incredibly manageable, right? Well, hold on, because that gap is actually completely misleading. Remember, Social Security doesn't start for them until age 67. So before that kicks in, their portfolio has to carry the entire $95,000 burden all by itself. And because withdrawals from a pre-tax account are taxed as ordinary income, to actually put $95,000 in their pockets, they really have to pull out about $103,000. Section 1. The myth of close enough. Owen stops too early. So let's look at Owen. He's part of our test household, but he decides, you know what, I'm just tired and I want to stop working at age 55. His exact mathematical target to fund his life to age 95 is about $1.29 million. But he is 15% short. He only has about $1.1 million. Now, a 15% shortfall feels like a tiny rounding error against $1 million. He thinks to himself, hey, close feels like enough. But let's actually walk through his timeline here. Owen retires at 55. Remember that $103,000 he has to pull out every single year before Social Security starts? Drawing that from his slightly short portfolio means he has a staggering 9.4% withdrawal rate in his very first year. For context, the safe rate is widely considered to be 4%. By the time his Social Security finally arrives at 67, his portfolio has been completely decimated. The result? His money runs bone dry at age 74. The absolutely crucial point here is the asymmetric risk. Being 15% short doesn't mean your retirement is just 15% worse. It means your retirement ends decades early. Section 2. The tragedy of endless saving. Vincent never stops working. Now let's fast forward and look at Vincent. Same exact household, same income, same funds. But look at what happens at age 57. He actually crosses his target finish line. He's holding $1.3 million when he only needed 1.2. But here's the catch. No alarm bells go off. Doing exactly what he's been told to do for 30 years, he just keeps working and saving until age 65. By then, his target has fallen, but his actual balance has skyrocketed to nearly $2.2 million. He is massively overfunded. He built an extra $864,000 over those 8 extra years of working. And guess how much additional lifestyle that money buys him? Zero. None. He was fully funded at 57. The life he wanted was already completely paid for. So where does that money go? Follow Vincent's timeline. At age 75, the government forces required minimum distributions, or RMDs, out of his account to the tune of $118,000 a year, stacked right on top of his Social Security. He dies with a massive estate. Vincent didn't make a tax mistake here. He made a time mistake. He traded his 50s and early 60s, arguably his healthiest years, to build an inheritance for someone else. Owen fails by stopping short. Vincent fails by never stopping at all.
Section 3. The Solution. The Golden Retirement Band.
So, the golden band isn't just a single point. It's actually a combination. It is your bare target number, representing 100% of what you need, plus a very precise 30% safety buffer, layered right on top.
Now, you might be wondering, why exactly 30%? Well, it isn't just arbitrary padding. Your bare target assumes a perfectly smooth 5% real return every single year. But we all know reality isn't smooth. If we stress test this and the next decade delivers a 3% real return instead, a portfolio with the bare target fails completely by age 79. But if you have that 130% golden band, it fully absorbs those bad decades. It would literally take a sustained, abysmal 2% real return before the plan fails at all. That 30% buffer is exactly what you need to remove luck from the equation.
But here is the genuinely terrifying part, and the whole reason this explainer has so much urgency. For our test household, they enter the bottom of this band at age 57. Because their balance is compounding while their target number is actually shrinking, they pass through the top of the ceiling by age 60. The window between saving too little and saving past the point of usefulness is only 3 short years long.
And that is exactly why almost everyone misses it. Because once you're inside the band, a fundamental shift happens. It is the exact point where additional contributions stop changing your retirement and start changing your estate. The money you save is no longer for you.
Section 4. Calculate your exact number. The 4-step exit strategy. Step 1. Calculate what your retirement actually costs. Use real line items and make sure to subtract every expense that vanishes when you stop working, like commuting and those retirement contributions themselves. Step 2. Subtract your Social Security, paying incredibly close attention to the years before it begins because that is where plans quietly break. Step 3. Find the portfolio size needed to fund that remaining gap out to age 95 using a conservative real return rate. And Step 4. Add your 30% safety buffer. That gives you your golden band. All right, so once you run these numbers and actually hit the band, what do? Well, you have options. You can stop working completely and buy back your time. Or if you absolutely love your job, you can keep working, but you must stop overfunding your retirement. Now, always capture the employer match. That is a 50 to 100% immediate return. Never leave free money on the table. But every dollar above that is now optional money. Use it for shorter hours, a new career, or a business. Whatever you do, do not panic sell or restructure your portfolio. This is a contribution decision, not an investment one. And finally, rerun this math every single year because your life and the markets will definitely change.
You've basically been trained your entire life to ask, how much more can I save? But armed with this math, you can now ask a much better question. If you run your numbers and find you are already inside that golden band, it isn't a warning. It means you are finished. And finishing is allowed. So ask yourself, does the next dollar you save actually still belong to you?